Good evening and welcome to Eston Leisure Centre, Teesside, North East England, where tonight, as you can hear, a great event is happening for the people of North East England. Champion Glenn McCrory is going to defend his IBF Cruiserweight title against Siza Makathini of South Africa. As you can hear, a mammoth crowd here, more than 4,000 people bawling their lungs out for the champion, Glenn McCrory. Glenn McCrory tonight will be in the gold and red trunks, Siza Makathini in the white trunks, and we're waiting for a real humdinger of a fight. Leonard Neal, how do we see the prospects for tonight's fight?
Well, let's hope it all goes well for Siza. He's certainly the odd man out here because this crowd absolutely adores the champion. I haven't seen a fighter being adored like this by a crowd for a long, long time. As you come into the stadium, there's posters all around saying, "Go for it, Glenn, you can do it, Glenn." Nobody can see anything but Glenn McCrory among this crowd here.
Brian, what's it like to get into the ring with a crowd like this?
Well, Robin, it's not easy. We spoke about it earlier on. I had the same problem when I fought Jim McDonald in London. Caesar mustn't be humiliated by the crowd. He mustn't let the crowd get him down. He's got to concentrate on the fight, blank the crowd out completely and get on with the job.
Wow, we're really getting a warm reception here for Glenn McCrory. I've never heard a crowd, in fact, shout like this, Brian.
Glenn McCrory is getting a fantastic reception, which a champion deserves.
This really must put him in good stead. He must feel really good about it.
Well, this is going to psych him up from the beginning and pump him up. That's why I said Caesar mustn't let the crowd get him down. He's just got to go out there and work.
Whilst we're waiting for the formalities to be done, let's go over the officials for this evening. The referee this evening is Mr. Rudy Battle from the United States, who's very experienced, and the judges are all from, or two from Europe, Mr. Grutenbrod from Belgium, Mr. Gerber from West Germany, Mr. James from USA, and the supervisor from the United Kingdom, Mr. John Robinson. The IBF rules this evening: no standing 8 count. 3 knockdowns in 1 round does not automatically stop the fight. Brian, that's interesting.
That is interesting, Robin, because the guy can go down quite a number of times and the referee doesn't stop the fight. I much prefer the rule where if a guy goes down 3 times, that's enough, you know.
Safer for the boxer.
It's much safer. A guy takes a lot of punishment if there's an 0-3 knockdown rule in effect.
If we just finish off the rules, Leonard, the bell will save the boxer unless it's the last round. He can be saved by the bell apart from the last round.
That's right, yeah. The IBF has got completely different rules to the WBA.
And there's 10-ounce gloves tonight with a thumb attached, according to the IBF rules. Well, we had a little lull in the crowd roar here as we're waiting to get the proceedings underway. Leonard, let's have a look at the key points, according to the Mnet team, for the fight this evening. Well, we've seen and we've heard Glenn McCrory had a weight problem. He struggled to get down to the weight. Brian, how do you feel about that?
Robin, I think that could be a big advantage for the champion because, you know, the IBF weighed the night before the fight, and I believe he had to go twice to the scales, and he's probably weighing in a good 5 or 6 kilograms heavier than Siza Makathini as he stands in the ring tonight. So I think it could be a big advantage to the champion because the weigh-in was 24 hours ago.
Also, from the point of view of Makathini, Leonard, Makathini has come down in weight. Will he have lost his punching power?
Well, that's going to be the interesting thing to see because Makathini is... His big hope here, I think, is that left hand to the body. He'll come out steaming. He's going to let the left hand go. It's going to be interesting then to see if McCrory can take it. I was talking to Bo Williford today and said Makathini is a tremendous body puncher, and Bo Williford came up with a wonderful statement. He said, "My boy's body is as tough as Chinese crosswords." I'm not too sure what he meant by that.
Well, we think the fight could develop into a certain pattern, Brian. It could be the long jabbing, the long reach of McCrory against the possible body punching of Siza Makathini.
Something interesting that I noted, Robin, is that it's a very small ring, and I'm quite surprised because that's a disadvantage for the champion. And we're hoping that that's going to suit Siza Makathini, being the shorter fighter and the body puncher. We're hoping that the smaller ring is going to suit him. So I believe Caesar's got to set the pattern by taking the fight to the champion. He's got to work to the body, he's got to throw hooks, he's got to do a lot of bobbing and weaving, and he's got to get in there and put pressure on the champion and show him no respect.
Well, as we heard before, we also think the crowd's going to play an important factor here. The welcome for the champion was tumultuous, to say the least. Poor Caesar may freeze.
Well, that's what we're hoping is not going to happen tonight, that Caesar doesn't freeze. He's fought a couple of times abroad, but he's never fought a world champion abroad. So this is his big opportunity, and he knows it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and he's got to go out there and he's got to work hard.
Leonard, we're just about to get ready for the formalities with the referee Rudy Battle here. And away the crowd go again. I don't think we're going to last the evening with this row, Leonard.
No, the crowd, of course, is behind Glenn McCrory. But very interesting. I don't know what that is on the back of
I think I know what it is, Leonard. They're not allowed to show the advertising on the back of the shorts, so they've taped it over.
Oh, they've taped over all these marks there, I see.
Anyway, let's hope he doesn't make Siza stick to the floor of the ring if he gets knocked over. Here we go then, round one, IBF Cruiserweight title. Here for North East England, champion Glenn McCrory against the Zulus Siza Makathini from South Africa. Round one.
The gong, the first of 12. And the first of 12, and is Makathini going to go in with that body blow? He keeps out of the way of a long left jab there from McCrory. McCrory obviously going to depend on that jab to keep Makathini at a distance. He is the longer man, and he must keep Makathini away as far as he possibly can.
Makathini's got to be careful from these good blows there from the champion at the early stages. The champion Glenn McCrory, of course, in his title-winning shot put down Lumumba in the first round.
A nice right hand from Makathini went through there, caught McCrory on the cheek. Not a great deal of power in it, but McCrory comes back with a good left hook.
Body punching there from McCrory, Brian.
Good body punching from McCrory, but Siza started the fight at the right pattern. He's taking the fight to the champion. He's going forward and working the body. And it's probably going to pay off in the later rounds if the fight keeps going at this pattern.
Siza's pattern here is a left to the body, a right overhand to the head. He's done it twice already, and it has gone through. It's going to be interesting to see if he can get it in effectively and worry McCrory with it. Another right hand from Siza, got his man there.
Good right hand. McCrory seems to be flinching every time that Siza hits him with a right hand.
Rudy Battle gets between them, stops them. A very experienced referee, this man. Siza going in with that left, keeps the left to the body, and another right hand goes through to the head.
Couple of good body blows there from McCrory.
Siza got in some good body combinations as well.
We saw McCrory take his breath in.
Siza keeping up the attack with that left hand. His left hand is working overtime here, rather putting in a lot of work for a first round of a fight.
It's a very good first round, especially in the junior heavyweight division. You normally see the bigger guys starting a lot slower in the first round, and these two guys are going out to, you can see they both want to win this fight.
Makathini using that left quite nicely, though it's being partially blocked there by the counter there from McCrory. Makathini looking very calm and collected, Brian.
He's looking calm, he's looking good at this stage of the fight.
He's taken a couple of punches from McCrory, but he hasn't gone backwards. That's a very significant point, I think.
At the same time, Leonard, he's let go a few bombs to McCrory's ribs.
Oh yes, his left hand is going in there, and he's coming over the top with it as well. Catching McCrory quite well. Nice punching there from Makathini. A left went over the top, caught McCrory, pushed him back into the ropes.
The second minute of the first round is all Siza Makathini.
Makathini looking very confident. His left hand is doing a good job of work here.
Glenn McCrory, the champion, the red shorts. Siza Makathini, the challenger, the white shorts. Makathini getting instruction there from his corner.
A low blow here from Siza Makathini.
Good round there, guys, for Makathini.
That is an excellent round from Makathini. I'm going to go Makathini's way and give him that round.
I think so. His left hand was working overtime. He caught both to the body and the head repeatedly there.
I thought his combination punching was excellent in the first round. You know, judging from the two guys' faces, the champion seemed to be flinching a lot more than Siza Makathini. That's what we were hoping would happen, that he doesn't show the champion any respect.
Well, the champion actually washed out his mouth there and washed a bit of blood out with it as it came out, so he did take some punches to the mouth during that first round.
Here's the Makathini corner. In fact, they seem a little bit cooler than the other corner, I think, Brian. They're just taking their time there. In the corner is your trainer.
Well, I think Harold Forbrick and Murphy Griffith are very happy with the first round from Siza. He looks relaxed. He hasn't been hurt yet. I don't even think he's been caught on the jaw yet. And it was a good round for him. So we hope the second round is going to shape more or less the same way.
Well, here we go, round 2 of 12 for this IBF Cruiserweight title fight. Siza Makathini versus Glenn McCrory.
This is the 86,12 or 86 thereabouts kg fight. 13 stone, 8 pound, Leonard.
An interesting fact about the division is that South Africa has played a very big part in it since it started. Robbie Williams was the first man to fight for it, although he lost on points in his first effort, and then Pete Krause won the title and kept it for a while. Now Siza Makathini fighting in the same division. The other two were WBAs. This is an IBF fight.
Well, both these fighters are former heavyweights that have trimmed down to the cruiserweights, and they both seem to be in the right division.
And of course, McCrory, when he campaigned as a heavyweight, was very unsuccessful, losing 3 or 4 fights.
That's right. 3 or 4 of his losses were in the heavyweight division. But Siza Makathini had the same problem. You know, he's won his last 10 fights as a junior heavyweight.
Of course, Siza is built for the job. I think McCrory is actually far too big for a junior heavyweight.
And McCrory is a natural heavyweight, but he doesn't seem to be able to box so well as a heavyweight, Len.
Makathini's left hand goes in there. He caught McCrory in the body with it. McCrory inclined to back off every time that left does go into the body.
Oh, Williford over in the corner there from Glenn McCrory, getting really hot under the colour.
Nice left hook from McCrory, you can hear by the crowd.
Makathini sticking to his guns here. Taking a few shots, but giving some.
Some good body punching there from Makathini. He's hurting the champion in the body.
Well, he's doing the right thing, of course. He's going in and keeping the fight on top of McCrory.
Oh, yes, most definitely, and he's working the body against the taller
And
champion.
a nice right hand from Makathini. Shook McCrory there.
Right on the button.
Makathini actually fighting the right fight.
Makathini's doing the damage. In the second round, he's on top again.
A couple of his punches inclined to go a bit low, but that's likely to happen in the fury of this type of battle.
Well, you know, Len, if you're fighting a guy that's 6'4" tall, there's a couple of low blows that will definitely go in.
Yes, he's almost looking at McCrory's belt light some of the time.
And especially because Caesar's working the body all the time.
McCrory almost being drawn into the wrong type of fight for himself, as we said at the beginning. He should be jabbing, as he's doing now.
That's what he should be doing all along.
Well,
jabbing.
as he spoke, he started using his jab, and that's what he's got to do if he wants to win this fight.
I think he must have heard us, because he's now resorted to using the jab.
Starting to move around the wing, throw that jab out.
There's no way McCrory can win the fight on the inside. That's Siza Makathini's fight.
Bo Williford really performing in the corner, shouting about the low blows going in.
The McCrory camp saying Makathini is consistently punching low, must keep his blows up.
Well, I had Bo Williford in the corner facing me in my last fight in America as well, and he just makes a lot of noise. He's just unhappy that Siza Makathini is shaking.
Oh, a great shot there for Makathini.
2 left hands go in, another Makathini left hand goes in there. And
another one then.
McCrory did well to move away just at the end of that round, because it was 3 in a row, those left hands that went in.
It was a fairly even round. McCrory started using his jab a lot better.
Even Steven, I think, there.
I'm going to go for the even round there. I don't want to call it either way.
And Makathini, of course, got a warning from referee Buttle for the low blows.
The referee's also over there now, Leonard, just also repeating his warning, I think. Keep those punches up, boys. Here we see the replay there. A nice left going through from McCrory. Must be some consternation. Look at this, Brian. With Makathini really showing some good strength. A good right on the button there to McCrory. They must be a bit worried in his corner at the moment.
I'm sure Bo Williford's very worried. That's why he's making a lot of noise about the low blows. But Caesar's fighting the right fight. He's working the body. He's staying in close. He's got his hands up. And I'm impressed with him at this stage of the fight.
Well, the Makathini corner is by far the calmer of the two. That's one thing, definitely.
Well, here we go then, round 3, IBF Cruiserweight title of the world. Siza Makathini in South Africa, the challenger against the champ Glenn McCrory. Leonard, round 3.
Round 3, and Makathini goes straight back into it. He's into his man, the left going into the body, trying for the right over the top. He hasn't given up one moment in this fight. He's going at McCrory here, has him on the rope, pouring in the punches. Not a lot of them landing. McCrory's able to keep him close and put his shoulders in the way.
Makathini almost had the laconical look on his face. No emotion there.
Using a good bob and weave style there. He's not getting caught with many punches on the chin. The champion's the one that's taking the punishment to the face.
And he's dropping that left into McCrory's stomach all the time. McCrory looking at his corner.
Oh, and Makathini comes right back in again. He's chasing his man across the ring. McCrory happy to hold on.
And wincing, Leonard. Wincing with some of those blows coming in.
They're starting to hurt. A right hand went over the top, caught McCrory. McCrory goes back onto the ropes and immediately holds his man again.
Makathini building in confidence, Brian, here.
Oh, yes. Makathini's
very good left. Those are quick punches. McCrory is in trouble.
In trouble. Holding on.
He's in trouble. That left hand went in and hurt him again.
Siza Makathini all over the champion. You can see it in the champion's eyes.
Champion blinking there, Brian. He's a bit dazed.
McCrory is very, very happy to hang on at this stage.
Makathini fighting the perfect fight there. He's working the body, he's working up and down, and the champion doesn't know what to do. He's got no answers.
Well, the longer this fight goes, the more those body blows are going to be hurting. He's done the right thing at the beginning. He's putting everything into McCrory.
Rights and lefts.
Champion with everything.
All those blows going in, rights and lefts. They're putting on the pressure onto McCrory here.
This round has been all Siza Makathini.
This must tell on the champion, Brian.
He's hurting the champion to the body and to the head.
He's coming through with a left uppercut, which is catching McCrory too. That left uppercut's going right through there. And a right hand right on the button there.
Makathini battling McCrory round like a shuttlecock round this small ring.
The ring size is certainly in Makathini's favour. There was a good left hand that went in.
Yes, Makathini's working the body well and to the head now.
A very worried looking.
As we said earlier on, the small ring's definitely in Makathini's favour. The English made a big mistake by making a small ring here tonight, because that's all in Makathini's favour.
Well, a great fight here, the IBF Cruiserweight title. And two guys really having a go at it.
Makathini not giving up 1 inch of the way. He's keeping the pressure up all the time.
Good lunging, swinging blows.
At this rate, it doesn't look like the champion's going to go more than 5 rounds.
Champion hanging on for dear life there, Brian.
The so-called boxing experts thought that Makathini wouldn't go more than 5 rounds.
Yes, so we read in the local press, they all thought 4 or 5 rounds, it would be all over for Makathini. Well, they might be right, but the wrong way round.
Well, that just once again proves the abundance of talent that comes from South Africa.
Wow, round 3 there, a good round for Makathini.
Oh yes, great round for Makathini. The way some judges score, I would make that a 10-8 round for Makathini.
Well, the clapping is loud, but the cheers have died down because the cheering isn't for McCrory any longer.
Well, maybe we've seen, Brian, when you're overseas, and we've seen with even Johnny Duploy, crowds will change, and they can raise you.
Robin, I don't think this crowd's going to change tonight, because the champion is their firm favourite. But at the moment, Caesar's doing a great job, and we can just be happy that he's so far he's all over the champion.
Let's see on this replay some great lunging, swinging lefts and rights going into McCrory there. McCrory hanging on for dear life.
If the champion got in 2 or 3 decent punches in the whole of the 3rd round, it was a lot. Makathini's all over him, and he looks more relaxed in the corner as well.
McCrory looking a little bit quizzical, a bit strained in the face, Brian, I think.
Breathing very heavily too.
Wow, here we go, 4th round. McCrory the champ, Makathini IBF Cruiserweight title. Brian?
At this stage, McCrory doesn't know what to do with Siza Makathini's lunging style, and it's suiting him perfectly, Makathini. He's taking the fight to the champion like we hoped he would, and the champion's not boxing from behind his jab.
Good left there for Makathini.
A good left jab from Makathini. It's amazing that Makathini is doing the jabbing and scoring with good ones too.
Not known to be a jabber, Leonard.
Not normally, but he's finding his way through the defence here quite easily. I'm surprised McCrory hasn't got the defence against those punches.
McCrory coming back, trying to put it on.
McCrory landed with a good left hand there. It stung Caesar back into action.
McCrory, unfortunately for a big guy, doesn't seem to have a tremendous punching power. Makathini seems to be the guy that's punching a little bit harder. But at this stage, the champion is using his left jab and his left hooks very effectively.
Well, as we said, he should have done. Every time we said he has a go with it.
Every time we say it, he starts using the jab.
Then he forgets. McCrory trying to get on top in this round.
Yes, McCrory is actually showing better movements in this round. He's punching far more crisply than he has been.
So far, the first minute, it's a good round for McCrory.
He caught Makathini with some of his own medicine, a right hand to the body there, but Caesar seems to be taking those punches quite well.
He seems to be very nonchalant down there in the ring. He's looked at the corner occasionally. He comes out with that left again. He's standing his ground.
He's standing his ground and getting back into the body. His lefts and rights going into the middle there.
Makathini came back with a few good body punches himself in the last few seconds.
He's actually walking right through McCrory's punches.
Yeah, every time he goes low, Leonard, McCrory backs off and those blows go through to his midriff.
Yes, but McCrory's blows are coming at him, and Caesar doesn't seem to worry about them too much. He walks right into them and goes into his man, keeps up the body attack.
Makathini mustn't make the mistake now of showing the champion respect and staying back. He's got to keep the pressure on like the first 3 rounds. Otherwise, the champion's going to steal the rounds with that long jab.
McCrory reputed to have a good chin.
He'll need it if he's going to take left hands to the head like that one, because that was a good left hand that Makathini landed.
Yeah, the dewdrops were ringing off his hand.
And a right hand there.
Right.
And another left and a right hand to McCrory's head. McCrory again in a little bit of trouble.
Lot of punishment down the second half.
Then McCrory turning away from Makathini.
Pushing McCrory back against the ropes like a professional.
Makathini rolling the uppercuts and the hooks tremendously here in this round.
McCrory at this stage trying to fight back, but not doing it very effectively.
McCrory, as you say, Brian, mustn't lose his respect for the champion. The guy got there somehow. He's still piling them in.
He's not losing respect at this stage.
Makathini's going,
The champion
keeping on
his
top.
face showing pain.
As the fighters come over the top of us here, still a pained look on Glenn McCrory's face. A slight swelling on his left eye. Good round there for Siza Makathini.
Excellent round.
He came back very, very strong after a poor start. He came back very strong.
The champion won the first minute and a half, and Siza won the last minute and a half. So it was a very close round again. We can't forget about the first half of the round. But Siza done the better punching in the later half of the round.
That tends to impress the judges more. They tend to remember that more.
Yes, most definitely.
There is a welt started up on McCrory's left eye, just above the eye. They're working on it.
Nothing serious at the moment.
I think you see in the slow motion why that welt started, because that was a good right hand from Siza that went through.
It was the left hand which came across, Leonard, right across. We saw it there.
Well, at this stage...
And again, punishing rights there from Makathini
At
too.
this stage of the fight, Siza doesn't seem to have been hurt once in these few rounds, and the champion's been hurt quite a few times.
At least if he has, he's hiding it. We thought he was a little bit hurt at one stage at 3.
Well, he backed off slightly, but he doesn't look like he's been hurt at all in this fight.
Oh, Bo Williford really getting to his boy there, clapping him on the face. Come on, you've got to get at it, boy. Here we go.
He'll need to get at it, because at this stage, Siza is taking command of the situation. And again, it's Makathini straight out on the attack, coming looking for his man.
Well, we're going into the 5th round now. The champion's going to have to get his act together if he wants to retain his title. We're very happy that Siza Makathini is fighting the right fight, and he seems to be taking the fight to the champion. At this stage, Siza Makathini must be ahead on points in our scorecards.
Well, if Siza can keep up the pressure as he has been doing for the whole 12 rounds, if it goes that long, then he should have a very, very good chance of winning this fight. Do you think, Brian, that his fitness will carry him through at this pace?
Oh, yes, most definitely. He's been overseas now for 5 or 6 weeks, and he's in excellent condition.
Well, that was certainly a pained expression on the face of Glenn McCrory there.
Well, almost then it looks as though we're going to have a repeat of history of 37 years ago when Jake Contuli came over to this part of the world and pulled off the Empire title.
Just up the road in Newcastle, Jake pulled off that tremendous 12th round knockout of Teddy Gardner.
And here we have Siza Makathini maybe repeating history nearly 40 years later. But this time for a world title. Siza Makathini, the white shorts. Champion Glenn McCrory, the red with the gold slashed down the side here. We're in the 5th round of the IBF Cruiserweight title.
Taking the fight
and a good right hand from Makathini went through.
Yeah, in the 5th round again.
The left bounced off that eye.
McCrory really having problems here dealing with this challenger.
McCrory pulls his face every time that Siza Makathini lands a left uppercut to the body. So he's in a lot of trouble here to defend his title, if he wants to defend his title.
Well, I think those body blows must really starting to hurt him now, because they were raining in the early part of the fight, and by now the effect should be showing.
Should be slowing McCrory down.
I'm sure. Well, as you look at McCrory now, you can see he's not quite as full of fire as he was.
And Makathini's all over him now. He's just raining in the body punching. Fighting an excellent fight.
Makathini just got to be careful here so he doesn't take the sneak punch.
It doesn't look like he's going to burn himself out either, because he's in great condition. He trained with me in America, and he's been in Italy for 3 weeks.
McCrory wincing with pain.
He's been in London for 3 weeks, excuse me.
As you say, Siza Makathini just walking through the arms there of McCrory. They don't exist.
Yes, he's completely shunning anything that McCrory's trying to do. McCrory's punches aren't having any effect on him whatsoever.
Makathini hunting, running after McCrory. Trappy on the ropes, McCrory pushes him away. Referee Rudy Battle gets in. Rudy Battle having a tough evening in a way. He's also often in there pulling the guys apart.
McCrory actually is doing very, very little at this stage, except to hold on whenever he possibly can. He did throw in a left right there. That was a nice combination, but
Probably the best punch in the fight so far from McCrory. A nice left right combination.
Right into the end of the 3rd round. Good left there for Makathini. Wobbles champion McCrory. Oh, his head is ringing.
A very wobbled man. Now Bo Williford starting to perform.
Oh, drama in the ring here. Williford claiming a blow after the bell.
We'll be back straight after this. high-rise. It never lets you down.
Here in these ever-changing times, we must be ready for the new. All we have to do is make this world a better place to be. There's a new inspiration that shows a brighter side of life. Just stand up, there's a pure new way. We're gonna feel the taste of friendship. We're gonna live a better day. Just stand up, there's a pure new way.
We now return you to the boxing.
Whoa, sensational stuff there, Leonard.
That left hook definitely came in before the end of the
McCrory
round
would have,
there.
McCrory 10 seconds more would have been on the ground, I think.
It looked like he wanted to actually pack it up there. Makathini's all over him.
Well, Makathini is certainly in full command of the situation at the moment. McCrory's happy to throw a couple of punches every now and again.
Well, definitely a Makathini round, guys. Brian, this reminds me of your Bottiglieri fight. The guy was quite strong for 4 or 5 rounds and he cracked.
Yeah, he cracked, but the problem is, yeah, Makathini's been in command from round 1. You know, in the Bottiglieri fight, he was still all over me in the first 3 rounds. And then he cracked towards the 7th round. Funny enough, even with all the crowd cheering him on, yeah, the champion's not shaping at all.
Well, can this be the round there for Siza Makathini to seize the World Championship? The 6th round of the IBF Cruiserweight title. Big roar here from Glenn McCrory. Siza Makathini got to stick to it, Leonard. Let's go into round 6.
Into round 6, and McCrory came out very apprehensively there, wasn't too sure what to do. And Siza straight into him with his body attack. McCrory's happy to back off, keep out of the way, and do some holding.
You know, strange enough, McCrory's the guy with all the height advantage and the physique, but he's not the stronger guy here.
Hasn't made use of his reach advantage whatsoever.
He's physically the weaker of the two, and Siza Makathini's all over him.
Well, Caesar's chasing him round at the moment.
Chasing him round here, I think.
All over the ring.
Only time before McCrory goes down, I
It's just
think.
a matter of time now, and Makathini is the new IBF world champion.
The small South African contingent around the ring, guys, is jumping up and down and whooping
Going
here.
quite crazy.
Urging him on.
Oh, and a left hand that really banged McCrory's head backwards there. The perspiration shot in all directions when that one went in.
A left to the ribs there from Makathini to McCrory.
And each one of those hurts. Good retaliation by McCrory. He threw a series of punches there that caught Makathini.
But there again, Makathini, Leonard, was brave enough to hang on in there. Oh, good left to McCrory.
Makathini is hurt there. Makathini was hurt with that left hook.
Yes, that was
He's
one
holding on now.
Crowd roaring to this fight.
The champion's fighting back now.
The champion has suddenly come back, throwing everything into it here.
Caesar's holding on to dear life here.
Makathini rolling in the corner.
The fight is just
Gonna come
changed.
out. Crowd jumping up and down.
Can Makathini keep going? Can
Maybe
he
keep
get
going
over?
from the champion.
He's fighting his way out. McCrory's still raining the blows.
It's amazing recovery here from the champion. This is unbelievable. Makathini's gun bar is out. The champion is all over him for the first time in the fight. Oh, this is an exciting round. This is fantastic boxing.
Great stuff for the crowd here. Everybody stood up.
The crowd is going
McCrory's
berserk.
still got
The crowd's
Makathini
been
trapped.
waiting for.
Makathini's trying to find his way out. McCrory pouring him in. Both taking a breather.
The big thing is, can Makathini keep going? Because McCrory will burn himself out at this stage, at this rate.
Makathini doesn't seem to be too hurt in this little flurry here the last 90 seconds or so.
Well, Makathini's still in the fight, but he's
Good
Right
punches
back
to
in the
McCrory.
fight.
Oh!
he's hurt the champion with some good body punching here.
I wonder whether this is the last hurrah for McCrory. He can't finish it now. What's going to happen?
These two fighters are fighting like this is the last round of the world title fight. This is a great round for them. It's a great round for the champion, but Siza Makathini's fighting back.
Caesar is still back in there. He's allowing McCrory to do the work at the moment. McCrory isn't actually scoring at the moment.
McCrory pushes him away with disdain. Well, guys, what about that round, Brian?
Robin, that's unbelievable. I didn't believe the champion even had that in his makeup. He came back there and he just changed the whole pattern of the fight in the 6th round. And he's made this crowd start making noises here like I've never heard in my life before.
Probably McCrory round, I think.
Definitely a McCrory round.
That was McCrory's round, all right.
Siza was shook up 2 or 3 times in the round, and he's got a big swelling under his left eye now. Harold's talking to him there in the corner now and telling him to just keep his hands up and start moving.
Well, let's see that maybe the turning point of the fight either way. McCrory suddenly found hidden reserves there.
I think if the champion isn't burnt out, he's going to try and fight with the same pattern in this next round.
I imagine that McCrory will come roaring out now.
But
he has to.
Makathini showed a lot of heart and guts there to come out of that corner after being shook twice and still throw punches at the champion. What turned out from a one-sided fight has become exciting.
Round 7.
Once again, the two boxers locked in combat in the middle.
Has McCrory still got enough energy in reserve after what he did there? He put an awful lot of effort into that round.
Both fighters seem to be in excellent condition.
And those early blows must have some effect on him.
Well, those early blows in the body are a big effect on the champion, but Caesar's eyes seem to be troubling him now as well with the swelling.
It's probably the hardest fight that Makathini's ever faced in his life.
This is definitely the hardest fight he's ever had.
Well, it's certainly the fight of his life here, because if he can pull this one out of the bag, he'd be a worthy champion.
The most amazing thing of all, for 5 rounds, it was a one-sided fight. And now it seems to be the champion getting on top again.
IBF Cruiserweight title fight, champion Glenn McCrory against Siza Makathini from South Africa. A real humdinger of a fight here at Eston in northeast England.
Siza getting a warning for low blows there. 2 of them actually went in.
Trainer Williford totally agrees with that in the McCrory corner. He's saying it's been going on for a long time. Here we are then, round 7. Makathini coming back, getting a second breath, I think, Glenn.
Yes, well, I'm wondering if McCrory still has enough in reserve to keep going, because there's certainly, after that last round, you'd expect him to come full of force into this round, and he didn't come out that way.
Yeah, McCrory seemed to be taking a bit of a breather here in the first minute. So far, this is quite an even round. Makathini is doing his own bit as well.
Warning there for McCrory.
Punching on the back of the neck. Makathini coming right. Now he has McCrory back up.
Good
backing
left
up
from
against the
Makathini.
ropes.
Nice left hook there from Makathini. You can see in the champion's face he's been slightly hurt to that left hook.
A left and a right went in there, caught McCrory, but not an awful lot of power in Makathini at this stage.
Although McCrory's head kind of snapped back, Leonard, the dewdrops went up from the water. McCrory pushing back, being pushed back by Siza Makathini. McCrory getting on his bicycle a little bit.
Yes, starting to backpedal around the ring.
Makathini tying him up, holding on there. Still looking very good, Brian Makathini, at this stage.
Makathini's looking good in this round. The champion seems to be a bit tired from that flurry in the last round. It's turned out to be an excellent, exciting fight.
Well, certainly fallen into a bit of a lull after that tremendous excitement of the last round.
Well, I think we need a bit of a lull just to get our voices back and our breath.
As I said earlier on, for junior heavyweights, these guys are throwing a lot of punches, and I think they can be respected for the condition they've brought into this ring.
It's tremendous pace for a fight between men of their size. And as the gong went there, left and the right went in from Makathini. Nice punches.
Well, that was another good round for Makathini.
Incidentally, he's the 3rd South African to fight for an IBF title. The other 2 unsuccessful, Malinga and Badenhorst. Let's hope that he has got something in reserve to come through and make it 3rd time lucky.
Well, let's hope so. We often wonder about Glenn McCrory. As we said at the beginning, he struggled to make the weight. He struggled to make the weight in his chance against Patrice Lumumba. So he's a guy who wobbles around with his weight. He naturally explodes in weight very quickly. And this must have a problem on his fitness and stamina, Brian.
Well, like I said earlier, Robin, I could be wrong as well. I thought it would be an advantage him coming in the ring a lot heavier than Caesar. But if he had major weight problems, it's obviously a disadvantage, because he doesn't seem to be punching very hard for a guy of his size.
I think he's known, Brian, as an active puncher, but not one with too much power.
Right. Well, he hasn't been too active in this fight. He's got to get his act together if he wants to retain his title.
Here we go then.
Makathini's ahead on points on our scorecard.
Round 8.
Yes, Makathini's ahead going into round 8 of 12 for the IBF World Cruiserweight title. And I must say one thing, Makathini's condition is superb, because sitting in his corner there, he was hardly breathing, no heavy breathing or anything after all those tough rounds that he's gone through. And he's walking back into McCrory, chasing his man and going into him from the start of the round.
Of course, Makathini in his so-called weight problem doesn't really exist. He came down beautifully over 3 months, lost about 10 kg, so he's got there without sapping his strength or any other problems.
Well, Makathini's been weighing around the 83-kilogram mark for this fight, so he's got no weight problems. But it showed him, yeah, in the later rounds now that his condition is excellent. He's not weak at all.
Well, interesting to note that he's never fought as a cruiserweight before, I believe.
Well, he's trying to make the limit, and he said he wasn't feeling good, but tonight he looks in good shape.
Very good.
McCrory relying more on the left jab there, trying to keep Makathini away. He's obviously been told by his corner, keep him away, jab him off.
But he tends to forget, Leonard. He manages it for 30 seconds, and then he's pushed back. He's sucked in by Makathini getting hold of him.
I've seldom seen a fighter winch as much as he does every time he gets hit. That left hand goes in, hits him, and he winces with pain.
Well, McCrory is a veteran of 32 fights, 27 wins and 5 losses, whereas Makathini is about half of that, 16 fights, 14 wins, 2 losses. First pro fight at the age of 24, and Glenn McCrory is only 25 now, so there's a lot of interesting statistics around this fight.
Makathini's impressed me with his bob and weaving style tonight and his defense. His defense is excellent tonight.
Yes, he's boxing a lot better than he used to. His last couple of fights, we've noticed that he's been more of the boxer than the mauling slugger.
Well, I think their nicknames sum that up, Leonard. This is Siza Mr. T, Makathini, and Mr. Gentleman Glenn McCrory. Makathini running there.
Going in well there, to the body and then to the head and landing with the punches.
McCrory looking out the ring there, almost wistfully.
He doesn't seem to be too sure of what to do next, McCrory. He's tried everything, and not much of it has worked.
Well, he had that great flurry a couple of rounds ago, but he didn't make it.
I think he lost his opportunity there unless he can come back with something like that again. The fight's slowly going to slip away from him.
Referee ordered the guys to break, but Makathini boxing there as the referee ordered them to break.
Makathini's fighting the right fight even in this 8th round. He's taking the fight to the champion, and he's just taking the whole fight away from the champion.
Yes, here we go then, 4 or 5 seconds into the end of the 8th round. A good round once again then for Siza Makathini.
He's kept it close. He keeps walking through those long punches of McCrory's and keeps the fight in close. And that's the best thing to do.
Makathini is the guy that's doing all the work in these rounds. I'm quite surprised that going into these later rounds, the champion's not trying his best to retain his title. His corner must realize that he's behind on points.
I think Makathini, though, to get a real verdict in this country, has got to put Mr. McCrory down. I can see if we're not careful, we're going to head for a draw.
Well, obviously, this is our own personal opinion on our own scorecards, but it's not official. You know, the judges are going to decide on the end result.
Just an interesting guy on the screen. This is Alfonso Radcliffe, a former world champ, who's over here to assist Glenn McCrory, shouting, giving him all the encouragement there. He's full of loud mouth, this one.
But Robin, I've said it so many times, it's ability that counts in the ring. No matter how many people you got shouting for you, it's just you and your opponent out there, and it's just Siza and the champion. And Siza's winning the title from the champion, from what I can see.
Here we go then, round 9, IBF Cruiserweight title. I'm Robin Welsh, with me at ringside, Brian Mitchell, Leonard Neal. Siza Makathini, the challenger against Glenn McCrory.
And out into the 9th comes Siza, steaming away. Catches McCrory with a long left to the head, and McCrory again doesn't like it.
Start off with a nice right hand to the heart as well. One of my favorite punches. Siza seems to be throwing it nicely.
Well, Makathini putting on the pressure, keeping on top of his man here.
Sticking to his task really well.
He's doing the right thing, keeping in close, not giving McCrory a moment to settle down. McCrory, the boxer, hasn't been able to box.
Glenn McCrory's got to pick up his work rate because Siza's taking all the work away from him. Makathini was caught there with a nice left hook. His one leg seemed to buckle.
McCrory didn't follow up.
McCrory backed off, which is quite...
Unless he was slightly off balance there, it looked like his one leg buckled with a left hook. But McCrory hasn't taken advantage of it.
McCrory's corner very unhappy with that. They thought he should have pressed for the advantage.
These two must be pretty tired at this stage. They've put up a tremendous pace right through this fight, especially Makathini. He's kept up the pressure. He's kept going the whole time. McCrory now trying to keep it at long range and trying to keep that left hand going.
Seems to be more of a quiet round from Makathini. McCrory's getting a few jabs in.
I think, if anything, Makathini must be looking for a bit of a breather at this stage. He certainly has fought his heart out up to now.
Well, he's done all the work in these last 8 rounds, so he's the guy that needs the breather. The champion's got to start throwing punches now.
And 9 times out of 10, when Makathini comes forward, he looks dangerous. He just wades through those arms coming at him.
Well, he is dangerous, Robin. You know, he's working the body well, and he's coming up and down, which is the right way to fight. He's working from the body to the head, and the champion's got no answer for those punches.
The crowd here, the 4,000 crowd, sensing that their man McCrory needs a bit of lifting, giving it to him. Siza Makathini, they're hanging in there, taking as we said, a fairly easy, low profile in this round.
This crowd certainly gives an atmosphere to the occasion, and this enormous marquee. 4,000 people jammed in here, and 3,900 of them behind McCrory.
Well, let's hope they're not going to be too disappointed at the end, perhaps. Anyway, we've got 3.5 more rounds to go. 4 rounds, in fact.
And this is the quiet, easy-going round.
Some nice left jabs from McCrory there.
McCrory boxing very neatly at the moment, but takes the left hand to the head and immediately is back on the...
McCrory wincing, complaining about something there, either about the head or the leaning on. Certainly not happy when Makathini gets in there.
Well, he's not happy because Siza's the type of guy that lunges forward, and when he gets forward, he stays inside. McCrory wants to keep the fight at long bay, but unfortunately, Siza's not allowing him to do that.
McCrory certainly no infighter, and he doesn't know how to use his strength at all.
These body blows, Brian, by the end of the 9th round as we are now, if you take a lot of those, you must be feeling a bit whacked.
Well, you know, it's strange enough, McCrory's got a good body. Physically, he looks strong, but he doesn't seem to be taking the body punches very well. But we've always known that Siza Makathini is an excellent body puncher. So it does seem to be telling at this late stage of the fight.
As a world champ, if you've been submitted to that type of barrage for 9 rounds, you must be feeling a little bit sore.
Well, Robin, I work my body very hard, so it's difficult to say. I'm normally the guy that's doing the body punching.
Okay.
But we're not here to talk about me tonight. I think Siza Makathini is doing an excellent job here tonight. This is his night, and hopefully he's going to be the world champion after 12 rounds.
Guys, that round, Leonard?
Well, he certainly has slowed down McCrory. That was a very even round because there wasn't an awful lot done in it.
But it was a better round for McCrory because he got settled behind his jab, and Siza slowed down. He probably took a breather. I think the judges will probably call it McCrory's way, seeing that it was a close round.
Here we go then, round 10. McCrory versus Makathini. McCrory the red shorts, Makathini the white shorts.
Round 10, and I'd say that McCrory really has to do something now to get himself back in this fight. If he pulled off the next 3 rounds, he might sway the judges because they'd look in the direction of a champion.
Well, there's been no knockdown, so, you know, we saw early on with Aaron Carvey that anything can happen with the judges.
Of course, a different set of judges here because these are all totally neutral, being a world title fight.
First bit of hush we've had, I think, in 10 rounds. Suddenly the 4,000 has all gone down in their volume. Back it comes. Glenn McCrory, as soon as he has an inkling of a punch, the crowd come up with him.
They cheer any movement he makes at the moment.
Well, the crowd haven't been very noisy since that onslaught of McCrory's in the 6th or 7th round. So I'm sure they must be backing us that Siza's definitely ahead on points here.
It's really slowed down at this stage, and not surprising because the pressure that these two put up in the early rounds was very, very hard to maintain.
McCrory threatened to come in and demolish Makathini, gave a couple and took one.
He got tagged with a left hand. And
Makathini's laying back a bit, and he's showing the champion a bit of respect, which he shouldn't do at this stage of the fight.
Makathini, McCrory here, fairly even, slow going this round. I think we're in for a hell of a last 2 rounds. Everything to lose for both guys. McCrory must sense he's probably behind. Makathini must realize the championship's within his grasp.
Yes, Ron, I agree with you. Once again, it's quite a quiet round. I think if McCrory stays boxing behind his jab, the round's going to go his way again.
Makathini did land
It all depends what happens
right
in the last minute.
But left for Makathini is always sneaking round onto the jaw there, isn't it? Or brushing past the jaw of the champion McCrory.
He seems to find his target with it quite easily. He gets him repeatedly with it, especially at close range, and McCrory is off guard all the time.
Yes, what I like about it is he's first going to the body with it, then he's coming to the head with it.
Excellent, Brian. Very nice comment.
A double jab, which is working very, very well. Hooking off with the left hand both ways. And there he caught McCrory again with a right over the top.
McCrory caught Siza Makathini with a good left hook as well. This is a good round from both fighters again. They're both catching each other with a lot of punches.
I'm surprised at the...
Nice left hook from the champion.
I'm surprised at the few punches McCrory is actually throwing. As a boxer, you'd expect more combinations to come from him, but he's got more into throwing just one at a time.
In fact, you know, watching that round, Makathini's really in 90% the body. I think the last two rounds maybe he has to try and go a bit more upstairs, Brian.
I think if Makathini wants to win this fight, he's got to keep the pressure on for the 11th and the 12th round like he did in the earlier rounds. The earlier rounds, he was keeping the pressure on the champion all the time, and there was no doubt that he was winning the rounds. You know, the last two rounds, there was a little bit of doubt in my mind that he actually won the rounds. I'm gonna call that round McCrory's way again.
Yes, I think Siza really has to come out now and go for it, because although he did so well up to the halfway stage, if McCrory comes back into the fight now, the judges could be swayed in his
You know, to beat a world champion, you've got to beat him convincingly, and especially in front of a hostile crowd and in another country, you've got to beat the champion, clearly. And Siza was doing the job well in the earlier rounds.
Well, he looks to be quite calm and in the good enough condition to be able to go through with it.
Well, there's 2 rounds to go and he can be the world champion. 6 minutes, that's all it's going to take.
Here we go then, last 6 minutes, the longest perhaps in Siza Makathini's boxing life. Round 11, McCrory Makathini.
And he came straight out and into his man, intent on doing damage. This is more, that's it, he's gone into the fight and he's coming back now full of fight again.
Tremendous left hook there by the champion.
McCrory caught him with a good short left hook.
Didn't seem to do too much damage to Makathini that stage.
Well, the champion caught Siza Makathini with a tremendous right there. He's holding on now.
McCrory come right back into it, yeah. McCrory is actually...
Another good left hook there from McCrory.
Pouring in the punches, and
McCrory seems to have Makathini trapped in his favourite corner.
And down goes Siza.
Makathini's down.
A right hand over the top.
This is unbelievable because this fight was very one-sided.
Makathini seems to have given it up. He's out. Makathini's out.
He's out.
Makathini's down.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
The champion's not even a great puncher.
Makathini just seemed to give it up there.
Makathini just gave up his chances. Unbelievable.
It was a right hand that went over the top, but I don't think it had enough power to really keep him down.
He didn't seem to be that badly hurt there.
Well, there we got it. Glenn McCrory, still the undefeated champ.
With Glenn McCrory retaining his title on an 11th round knockout there.
But I think he can count himself as lucky in a way. We reckon he was very close to losing there. Another 5 minutes.
I think he was lucky. I would like to know what the official judges' scorecards was at the end of the 11th round, or when the fight was stopped. But Siza fought like a true challenger. He fought like a good challenger, and he showed tonight that he deserved to fight for the world title.
Oh, definitely. He fought his heart out for the first 7 or 8 rounds. It was really an outstanding challenger. I'm sorry he faded as he did right at the end there.
You know, what a pity he went down and just didn't go on, wouldn't go on.
The fight was so one-sided, except for 2 or 3 rounds, that I just can't believe that he went down in the 11th round.
Oh, Harold Volbrick was shouting to him in the corner, get up, but he just sat it out.
Well, let me see if I can get a word with the guy up in the ring in just a second.
Well, as Robin Welsh goes to get into the ring, we can tell you here that Siza Makathini has lost out in his effort to win the world title. He was knocked out in the 11th round. Glenn McCrory is still the champion, and what a pity, because as Brian and I were saying, It was a great fight by Siza. He put up a tremendously gallant battle all the way through.
It was a real pity, Len, because Siza took the fight to the champion from round one. You could hear the announcing the champion has retained his title, and the crowd are ecstatic about it.
And it didn't look as though it was a case of he burnt himself out or faded, because, Brian, I think you'll agree, his condition was good. He was still looking good going into the 11th round.
Siza's condition was great. He must have been caught with the right hand then in the 11th round that we didn't really see because his back was turned to us. And he must have been badly hurt with it to stay down like that. But it just amazed me that he was doing so well in the fight, and he had 6 minutes, call it 5 minutes to go. And he just didn't get up and finish the world title fight.
And suddenly it happened. Well, Robin Welsh is somewhere in the ring. The ring is absolutely crowded with people. They're waving Union Jacks up there. They're an ecstatic home crowd, of course. 4,000 people here, and nearly all of them behind the champion.
Robin hasn't started his interview as yet.
No, a somewhat dejected Siza Makathini standing. They put the towel around him in the corner, and everybody commiserating with him. Referee Rudy Battle went over and put his arm around him and said a couple of kind words. I think we can really say that he's a gallant loser, because he put up a tremendous fight. It was so... There you see him down on the canvas, but...
Well, you know, the most amazing thing of all is he fought his heart out for 11 rounds. In the 11th round, he seemed to just let go. Just let go totally. You know, he didn't seem to be badly hurt to me.
Not at all. He just seemed to, well,
you know,
disappear out of the fight.
You know, I've always stated a world title fight comes once in a lifetime, and you get up and you fight your heart out.
You grab every opportunity you can.
And he did fight his heart out until that 11th round. So
well,
it just shocked me.
When Robin does get a chance to have a chat, he'll be able to tell us what the real outcome of that fight was, what happened in that last moment there.
You know, and strange enough, all the pressure was already off him. They were so late in the fight that the crowd couldn't have been bothering him. It was just a matter of going through that the motions of the last 5 or 6 minutes, and that was it. He could have been the new world champion.
Well, here Robin is engineering a path through all these people, trying to get Siza and Harold Volbrecht over to where the world champion is.
Just wait a minute, guys.
An unhappy-looking Harold Volbrecht, too, signaling to us from the corner.
We're getting a picture there.
Siza Makathini, a great fight. You almost made it. What happened? Sorry?
I think you must speak to me.
Okay.
His lip is sore.
Harold Volbrecht, Siza Makathini, a great fight. What happened?
Well, you know, I'm very disappointed in the way the referee handled this fight. Siza had to fight 2 guys in the ring. As soon as Siza hit the body, the referee was warning him for low blow. But McCrory was leaning and holding Siza Makathini all the time. So, you know, I just feel that Siza was like winning every round, and the referee was on the champion side all the way.
But Harold, what happened? Siza just decided he couldn't go on.
Well, it's not the way he couldn't go on. He was caught with a good punch, you know, and those things do happen in boxing. He was caught with a good punch, and I'm sure with all the screaming here, he didn't hear the referee count, because the referee picked up the count from the timekeeper, and Siza wasn't sure about the time. When I told him get up, he wasn't understanding me properly.
Siza, one word from you. You must be disappointed. Disappointed? You really tried.
Yeah.
Very disappointed.
Yeah, he's very disappointed, and because he's worked so hard for this fight, it's a big disappointment for him. He was ahead on points, and he walked into a punch, but I'm still not happy with the way the referee handled the fight.
Okay, Harold Siza, good try, well done, bad luck.
Well, that's the story from the ringside here in Middlesbrough, in the Eston Sports Centre, where you've just seen Siza Makathini put up that tremendously gallant battle, but lose in the 11th round on a knockout. And with that, we'll say good night to you from Leonard Neal, Brian Mitchell, and Robin Welch.
Good night.